2003. This is the way it was. The year, Rob, 1910. Yep, 1910. That was the first passenger airplane Wright brothers had as the development of the biplane. Well, it was creeping along because look, there is no cockpit. It's seats. You're out in the open. And by the way, it is breezy.
Yeah. Those guys are experiencing what we're not experiencing here. It's called wind chill factor.
Oh, and on a nice warm day like today, it's cooling. It's a cooling that all year as well. Out into the open, no, there is no cockpit. The controls were rather primitive. It was frail. It could only fly under certain conditions in terms of gusting conditions and windy conditions. And where do you land? Well, this is a new form of transportation and a new form of getting around. There were no airports. Not that many airports back 99 years ago.
The airplane has this incredible speed range. It takes off at 60 miles an hour.
Okay, I'll write that down, 60.
It flies at 60 miles an hour.
Okay, now I got to write that down so I don't forget. It's 60.
And it lands at 60 miles an hour.
All right, no quizzes until I study. Okay, you come back to that, folks. It is such a miracle and just a justification of dedication on volunteers.
You can check out the website for the Wright brothers, for the Wright B Flyer. Go ahead and Google it, and you'll find out about it. There are actually now 2 replicas that have flown, and a third that is being built right now. And that third one will be able to be put in one of they call a standard sea land container and taken over to Europe or wherever they need to go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The original Wright Military Flyer was held together by piano wire. Those wings were held together by piano wire. This one, meeting modern airworthiness standards, has 8-inch steel aircraft cable, much stronger controls, much stronger struts and structures to make it work. Plus, it has ailerons.
It's put into its own creatures, so you have to replicate that as best you can.
All right, now if you look at that Huey helicopter, the great sound of that, wave at it because you're getting your picture taken right now. High definition video. Renee Lafayette, our good buddy from Canada, is up there taking pictures. So if you're near somebody you don't want to be seen with, you're too late.
Okay. All right, we're all Hollywood stars. We're in a crowd scene, and we'll sign. Yeah, taking pictures. Yeah.
Well, down there, looking at banking sharply to the left and inbound, just an amazing airplane that has that keeps the history of flight right where it belongs.
Hey, do me a favor, folks, as the airplane comes back. This may be one of the last passes. I know the guys will be sneaking a peek down at you just for all the work these 50 or so volunteers have done to recreate this for you. Give them a big wave. It'll help you warm up wherever you're at. You have a hat, you can take it off and wave it. You can wave both arms, but it will be a sign of appreciation from you to them that they can relay to their group. By the way, Rob, we saw them in our mandatory performer safety briefing this morning. They are in 1910 garb, military flyer garb. So they're in authentic, they got one of those ranger hats, a military hat, and they play the part. They are reenactors, so to speak.
Yes.
So wave like crazy, if you will, everybody. Give them a wave of appreciation. We'll do the same thing. In the meantime, here comes the helicopter for another shot. Okay, as we say in Hollywood, we're going to get an insurance shot. Yeah, we're going to do it again.
One more for safety.
Oh, what an amazing feat to be able to put that airplane into the air and show people what early aviation was like.
You know, and there's one, okay, wave it, Renee, up in the Huey helicopter. There's one feature, Danny, of the Wright B Military Flyer replica that we're seeing today that is just like the original. The drive for the helicopter, for the propellers on it, bicycle chains.
Look, they used what they had.
That's right.
Low horsepower. Now, folks, these aircraft are so light. There is a group of aircraft that we have, a category of aircraft called ultralights. and so named because they are extremely light and are able to be powered by very small horsepower engines. You have to fly under certain conditions because if you are beyond those wind conditions, the airplane just won't respond. But it is a form of flight that is very open, very free, very slow, and very low. And this is more or less what they look like today, but this was state-of-the-art back then. And you can see the fuselage. Who thought to cover it up later on? You see the box structure, and that's what you might see if you opened up the fabric on a modern biplane or monoplane. You'd see that same type of tube structure. We now use chrome moly tubing because of its lightness and its strength. But back then, oh, let's get some tube or some angle iron. Hey, cut up that spring on the bed. Being on TV next Thursday, 6:30 Eastern, ESPN2. We'll have them tell you a little bit more about that after the Wright Flyer clears. And we put another biplane in the air along with a monoplane that's out on the runway now.
And by the way, the biplane flown by Sean D. Tucker, guess who made the propeller on his airplane?
I'll bet. Hartzell, yeah. All right, high and to your right, well, a little high and to your right, the Wright B Flyer, low and to your left, two airplanes on the takeoff roll. At the same altitude as I am in my 3 o'clock position is Brian NASCAR Norris as he gets ready to take over. Brian, you got some time to talk about next Thursday, or you want to go right into?
No, Danny, we got a few minutes because we got to wait for Sean and Ben to climb up for altitude.
All right, now, for years we have been introduced